Okay, so we're starting off with Diamond Weapon in the Jund Delirium shell. I've been staring at this card for a little bit this weekend and realized it's just kind of a perfect fit for this archetype. This is an archetype that we were finding a good amount of success with back even in the Ring era. Like right when this list first emerged, like I don't know if the Boros players were having a hard time playing against it, but just having a bunch of big beefy creatures that were fast and flying and hasty was kind of like a fine formula in that metagame, and obviously, that deck's been knocked down a peg or two. And Diamond Weapon just fits so well. So this is a 9 mana 8/8 reach that costs 1 less for each permanent card in your graveyard. This deck is very, very good at filling up your graveyard really quickly between the Baubles and the Fetch Lands and the Rumbles and the Street Wraiths and FOMO looting away and DRC surveilling. And, of course, the vast majority of your deck are permanents to discount the Diamond Weapon. But this card also I just think is quite good in the metagame. I love that it blocks Slickshot Show Off and like combat never gets lost. It's very, very big. It's very, very good against the Dimir decks where they can't Fatal Push it and they can't really attack through it. And this is also a high mana value card to bestow with Detective's Phoenix, if that's something you want to do. It's just a single card that bestows, which is kind of a big deal. It's an artifact and a creature, so it's 2 types for Delirium or Super Delirium for your Flytrap. And it's and you could also pretty often, I think, 2 mana play it, then bestow a Phoenix onto it, and just get in for 10 in the air, which is something that I think is quite powerful. So I think this is also kind of like just the obvious spot to start with Diamond Weapon. I really need to talk about this part in the process more, and this is something that I like to do with all the Final Fantasy cards. Every time a new card comes out that I think is worth brewing around, I like to find a shell that can really make it shine, that can really like maximize its potential. Find a shell where this is going to be at its absolute best, and then once you know where the ceiling is, you can start to put in other shells where if you think it's powerful enough that it doesn't need to shine as much. So this is part of the a big part of the process is finding that perfect fit for a powerful new card. Goose with the 13 months, thank you, welcome back. Acidic with the 34 months, hope you all are doing well too. Welcome everybody for joining me on this Monday morning, exploring some new modern cards. Always a fun time. Sounds pretty good if we draw a land. I'm going to click the keep button, and then I think this is one of those, like, if I don't draw a land off the Street Wraith, I go for the Surveil off the Wooded Foothills. Mycosith Gardens Amulet. Good morning! We are on the play, but I was definitely thinking that the Amulet matchup was rough today. And we do not get there on the land. Oh, good morning. Qualified for Cigar with Boros and Sephiroth, and a Singleton. Nightmare is the only black cards in the main. No Fables, 4 Voice. That's great. Yeah, I really like Fable of the Mirror Breaker is so embarrassing in the Boros deck. But yeah, that sounds great. I do think that like Sephiroth I think looked good, and I think that Lightning had the potential to look good, but it didn't seem like you wanted to play those cards together. And I'm really trying to find a cool shell for Sephiroth, which is not necessarily best practices, but the card is just so sweet. I just would hate for it to end up being just a Boros energy card, Well, we're probably dead here. Is Monstrous Rage not better than Violent Rage? No, it's not. Since the big creatures do not have evasion, and trample could also be key. So this is kind of one thing that we get a lot of questions about Monstrous Rage. That card is like not playable in Modern, in my opinion. Period. Modern is not a format where a bunch of big creatures are like attacking and blocking, and combat math is like a really like serious thing. This is the modern format, it's like you're playing your creature deck and you're just blowing past them, and we even have like a lot of we also have evasion from Detective's Phoenix to put on anything, but this is just not a format where attacking and blocking is a big part of what we're doing. All right, so we do have a lot of sideboard cards for the Titan matchup. I'm not sure about the Nihil Spellbombs. I want to bring in the extra Violent Urge too. I do think that this is a matchup where the Diamond Weapons are going to be pretty slow. I think I want to cut some of the Phoenixes. I want to cut all of the copies of Tarfire. So I would strongly encourage you to never register a copy of I've even forgotten Monstrous Rage. It's just not a modern card in my opinion. Let's try no Nihil Spellbombs, and well, maybe we play Nihil Spellbombs over Baubles. Is that crazy? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, obviously I know why you would want the Spellbomb, but it's like 3 cards for 1 card in the deck, but obviously it's a big part of the deck. It's very weird to me. So this hand is kind of slow. We are on the play. We have a Rumble to look for Damping Sphere. It doesn't find us our other sideboard cards. I don't have a black Surveillant, which is a little bit awkward. I'm going to mulligan, I think. I think we just really want a sideboard card. There's a sideboard card, and there's no second land. I did go down to 19 compared to the last time we played this deck, and we're getting pretty punished pretty quickly. I'm going to go to 5 this time. Take things into my own hand. Maybe this is a mistake. But if it's a mistake, it's a mistake we're making. Have we tried to do anything? Yeah, I've tried to build the K command Sephiroth deck. There might be something there. I keep trying to also play Fleshraker, but it seems very tough to support Sephiroth and Fleshraker at the same time. Gian with the 19 months. Thank you. Welcome back. But it may end up being possible. I don't know. Not quite Delirium. Missing a type. Haywire Mite being 2 types is always pretty nice in this deck. But I've been looking more at Rakdos, the kind of the shell that we were playing. I've been looking at playing that version of the deck, but with like a lot of bombardments in the main, and not playing the Soul Trader combo and playing Mayhem Double has kind of been where I'm at with that one. So we get Delirium, which is nice, and then we find a Damping Sphere. We could also just take a Stomping Ground, but I think we'll take the Sphere. Been really wanting to play Dreadhorde Arcanist, Iteration, and Grange in the same deck. Do you think there's something there? I might be getting too cute. Well, the thing about Dreadhorde Arcanist is that the main thing that you like even can do with that card in this format is... Ooh, I could take a second Damping Sphere. Because they have this Besage You. Let's do it. Let's be bad. The thing is the main thing that you have access to. Ooh, this card is like an extra. It's maybe even more than 10 if I bestow Phoenix, hit them for 5, then it's so 3 this turn, 5 next turn. Let's say they chump the 3 again because they chumped last time. So 5 down to 14. Then this is 6. That's 12 damage. It's not lethal. Okay, I think that these cards give me enough lethal to not keep that. We'll see if we regret that. Yeah, so the thing about Dreadhorde Arcanist is the main card that like makes that card like thinkable and modern. The main thing that's like you're considering with that card is Arena of Glory. And so the fact that if you're an idyllic Grange deck, you are just not you're not going to be a good Arena of Glory deck. For me, that means I'm out, I think. Can you bestow same turn with Damping Sphere? I didn't have enough mana, but in theory you could. Yeah, I think the Damping Spheres contain this amulet well enough. We'll just go ahead and graveyard that. So next turn we have lethal. Right? 5. Oh, we have 12. They're at 13. Go see if they have the Bajuka Bog. Have I found anything interesting with Matoya? Our first Matoya League went really well. I do want to play some more Matoya. Genie with the 19, Violet with the 13. What's my favorite Final Fantasy card so far? Cloud has been like really fun. It's not that different from Stoneforge Mystic, but like a slightly better Stoneforge Mystic has been pretty fun. Can you bestow enemy creatures? Yeah, you can. Yeah, Crumbling Vestige you get through the Damping Sphere stings. I think Sephiroth is the coolest one. I'm getting like kind of obsessed with it. This like 3 mana 3/3 for no reason. Okay, they do have the Bajuka Bog. I know Final Fantasy lore is a thing. Is it weird that they only made a diamond weapon? Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it would be weird, I guess, since I don't know anything about Final Fantasy lore. What's weird about that? I wonder if I chump for the types. I think no. If I draw a fetch land and I surveil a Phoenix into the yard, I could get Delirium. Okay. So I could keep this for the other surveil potential, I guess. Let's graveyard it. Yeah, the one spell turn is rough. I know it's always the issue with boarding and Damping Sphere. It was a joke. I guess I didn't get it. Makeshift this with 5 years. Let's go. Glad you're here after all this time. Thank you so much. Yeah, obviously kind of awkward mulligans. That's Titan. Kind of your worst matchup as aggro decks usually. For me, it's you just banned the most powerful mana generating card in Modern's history, instead of the 6-mana creature that lets you cast the 6-mana creature too fast. Okay, so we are on a multi-6 here. Not a great multi-6. I would mulligan this if it were a 7-card hand. But I think on 6 you're gonna have to click the keep button. And we drew a land! Ah! Save me surveil lands. Teamer VV with pump spells and big payoff sounds dope. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is it's like, you have to have VV in play, then you have to do a pump spell, then you have to have a big thing in your hand. I don't know, it just doesn't actually sound like a plan. It sounds like a daydream. Alright, I think we have to graveyard this. So this is going to be 4 types for the diamond weapon, which means that it's going to cost 5 at the moment, so it'll need a little bit more help. Is it going to be a very crazy card if we can get it to resolve? This should help some. Okay, I care a lot more about the Rumble resolving than the FOMO, so let's cast this as bait. If it gets countered, we get Delirium, which is nice. VV and Fleshraker feel like they could be oddly similar. I keep wanting to try them together. The mana sounds atrocious. That's about where I'm at as well. Mana seems so bad. So they pitched a Preordain here. So they have a Bowmaster. They run out Snapcaster because they also have Flame of Anor. Okay. No, they have Kaito. Okay. Kaito's just an awful card. I mean, maybe they have another subtlety for the FOMO, I guess. Okay, let's take this Flytrap. Okay, the second copy does get me pretty good here. I'll take it back, Kaito. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? Wait, I really only put 1 permanent in the yard from that Rumble, huh? So I could go FOMO, discard Flytrap, then there's 6, and this costs 4. Although I'm probably chumping. I could also take the hit from Kaito and try to Flytrap onto this and attack this for 4 next turn. I think I could also just cast the diamond weapon next turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This costs 4. Yeah, I could just cast diamond weapon next turn, maybe. And then the following turn go Arena, Flytrap plus FOMO. Any thoughts on 80 card Sans Dior deck 1 challenge? No, I don't want to look at it. No thanks. Thanks, and also thank you, Torborg. So they make an emblem. They hand a Snapcaster, 2 mystery cards. Maybe they'll flash back the Snapcaster. Why are counting types, not number of permanents? Well, I mean, I have types for Flytrap, but I'm counting number of permanents, not types. Yeah, I think I just have to cast the weapon this turn, and then we can go play both these with haste next turn, hopefully. Oh, wait. Dude, Diamond Weapon dies to Flame of Anor. Wait, although they may not have the Flame of Anor, right, because they played the Kaito that turn. That was 6? Alright, Kaito's broken. Okay, they play a frog. Kind of scary. That's kind of a nice draw, because now I can play around a counterspell a bit better. Where this allows me to play the FOMO first. Alright, so I have to attack the Kaito, or I'm going to die. Although, if I attack the Kaito, they can chump with Snapcaster plus Kaito, kill me. Okay, I guess I'm dead. Draw was pretty clunky this game. To make a big Flytrap. Make sure they see the line. Seems like they see it. We know the last card's a Snapcaster because it got ninjutsu'd. 14 power haste, not enough. Would have mulliganed if that was a 7-card hand. Okay, so against these Grixis decks, you usually want to be cutting the Violent Urges. Against this flavor of Grixis with Snapcaster, I might want to bring in the Nihil Spellbombs. I think that makes more sense than like Violent Urge for Flytrap, although... Or is that for Oculus? I don't think they're that likely to have Oculi. These Tarfires might also be worse than the Violent Urges. Spike, how does Diamond Weapon perform? Watch the stream! Form that opinion for yourself. Torborg, the 54 months. Oval with the 6. Hope you're doing well. Alright, let's keep this hand. Kind of nonsense Flytrap doesn't have reach. Yeah, I'll support that big nonsense. Put it on the multi 6. Just gonna see if we like our top card. Kind of. I think I like it enough. With the Fetch Surveil. Preordain. We draw a FOMO. Okay, so if I like my top card, I'll play Goyf and Surveil, and if I don't, I'll play FOMO, discard Phoenix. Well, I love that top card, so let's play this, and we'll make sure to draw it instead of fetching and surveilling. A Goyf that dies to a bolt. True, but at the very least it is a 1-mana Goyf that dies to a bolt instead of a 2-mana Goyf that dies to a bolt. Might have been good to fetch in response to try to get it to 4 toughness. Because you get 3 from the fetch, but obviously we could potentially get a 4th type here. I think we're just graveyarding that. It's not super duper clear to me that that's the right move. I'm going to cast the Rumble. Love that it resolved. I think we take Arena of Glory, and this is a lot of fresh types. 5 types for the Goyf. And they concede. Okay, well, no more thinking. On to game 3. I'll let the games run. I'm not a big fan of Flytrap. It's a great card, just weird. Wouldn't Dredger's Insight be a good card in this shell? I mean, so one thing is we've played a lot. This is an older brew of ours where Flytrap has been like a big shining star. Like hasting it with Phoenix and Arena is crazy. Did you watch the last game where Flytrap was a hasty 14 power creature? I don't think Dredger's Insight is a card I care much about. Like, it's like it's not going to gain a ton of life. Maybe some with the Detective's Phoenix, but it's kind of slow. Doesn't impact the board compared to Rumble, where that like the token does matter a lot, and it's like basically 1 less mana. And also, Rumble sets you up to go like Flytrap plus Phoenix on turn 4 sometimes. I didn't, yeah. That's okay. Okay, let's try this. No looting. So the thing about looting is we only have Phoenixes to discard for value. When looting was unbanned, we tried a version of this deck that played some Croxas, so you had extra things to discard for value. I don't really count Nethergoyf. So I'm going to get this Surveil trigger on the stack, but then I'm going to cycle the Wraith. So if I draw a land, I have like a little bit more control over what I surveil. And I did draw the land. This card is quite good, but it's also another type in the yard for Diamond Weapon. And I think I just also care about finding that third land since I've got the Flytrap. What was I saying? I can't remember. Alright, I think I'm going to play one of my 2 Fear of Missing Outs here. Nice, no snare again. Discard the Phoenix. Yeah, looting. Yeah, looting just like with so few things to discard for value felt a lot like kind of pointless card disadvantage. Alright, so this costs 3 mana at the moment, so a fetch land or a Bauble or a Wraith will let me cast it this turn. This was on the list. Let's start off with a Channeler. Now, do I just throw the Diamond Weapon out here? I think the answer to that question is just a yes. We have so many threats that like they counter it. I spend 2 mana, they spend 2 mana. And now that this is in the yard, I could potentially go Rumble into a land or draw a land and Flytrap with Detective's Phoenix on it, which would be pretty close to lethal. Okay, so I drew the land. Seems like I actually need to start off with Nihil Spellbomb, actually, to play around Snapcaster Counterspell. So I'm going to get some freebie, weebie, Detective's Phoenix, Surveil. I'm going to pet my dog, who's very sweet. And then I think I probably slammed the Flytrap. Okay, my other option is to FOMO and Detective's Phoenix. I guess that is a lot more damage. Oh, wait. So they've targeted Fatal Push here. Okay, interesting. Darth Clyde of the 17 months. Thank you. Welcome back. The problem with FOMO is I think I want to try to have a relatively empty hand. I do also think I want to bestow a Phoenix this turn, so let's do that. I know that they might Fatal Push the Snapcaster or the Channeler, but if they do that, then I have the untapped blocker to block this and play around Kaito potentially. Okay, so they do flashback immediately. Do I want to keep another Channeler? I mean, Channeler's a pretty good card. I can also bestow Phoenix on Phoenix. I think I'm going to graveyard it because I'm just going to cast the Rumble instead, and I would rather find something a little better off the Rumble. Yeah, I guess we'll take Diamond Weapon instead of any of these. And do we have only 5 types now for Flytrap? Now, do I play around Kaito or do I attack? Because I don't really want to have to block with this. Yeah, I think let's play around Kaito. I'm at 10. Use Spellbomb. So there's not any point to just using the Spellbomb, right? If I crack the Spellbomb, they just respond by casting this Fatal Push. Cracking the Spellbomb doesn't seem to me like it makes a lot of sense, and I can save this Spellbomb to negate a second Snapcaster. God, this is an interesting attack. Maybe they have their own Spellbomb, which would be really good against my hand. Okay, maybe not. If I don't draw a land, let's start off with the Diamond Weapon. Hard cast Subtlety. I'm going to put this on top, I guess. I can't draw and replay it right now. They attacked with the Snapcaster, so they're pretty likely to have Kaito. So to play around that, I think we're trying to make a big one of these. So I can get rid of Street Wraith Channeler and Street Wraith Channeler. I could do that twice, then I can have a 4/5 flyer. What's something that doesn't come up that often with this line, I guess, but could come up is your ability to, Athena, stop that. Your ability to like sack the spawn to, well, I guess I need to let Athena outside. Like split up the phoenixes or attack with both of them if you want. Okay, I need to let this dog outside. Come on, Athena, let's go. Athena, let's go outside. Come on. Yeah, you can make like surprise blockers too. I'm not going to be in Vegas this year, no. Darth Class 17, Juicy, have thought about Tifa and Michelle with Free Strider Lookout. I haven't. I wonder if there's anything there. Doxies with the 16 months, thank you, welcome back. My opponent plays Grafdigger's Cage, which is nice for them to find this the turn after I bestowed my phoenixes. Also, wait, hold on. Creature cards in graveyards can't enter. Oh wait, this doesn't even stop Phoenix. This actually just stops their own Snapcaster mages. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, let's play a diamond weapon. Eats a counterspell. I think I just want to cycle the Spellbomb. I want to wait till FOMO is my last card so I get the extra card. Their graveyard doesn't really seem to matter very much either. I could bestow a Phoenix. And attack for 4, and then what happens if I just leave this back? Is that I think that's actually good for me, so that I could potentially. Well, actually, I think I want to be able to bestow on like a Flytrap. Okay, just up Phoenix Yard. What doesn't it go from the stack? It goes to the stack. Oh, can't cast spells from graveyards. Okay, never mind. Sorry, forgot about that line. Okay. Then we'll just do this. They have one card in their hand. I think it's a Kaito. They top deck Nihil Spellbomb, which sucks. They played that so fast. Okay, then they Fatal Push. They only have 2 mana up, so we don't need to worry about them Kaitoing, so I guess we'll take 3. So between FOMO and the Spellbomb, I can get 3 types back kind of immediately. Okay, the last card... Preordain? So that was Fatal Push the card they were sitting on. Why did they attack with that Snapcaster? I don't know. We may never know. I might want to discard the diamond weapon so that I could bestow... They drew Spell Snare? It's kind of nuts. I might want to chump so that I can cast my diamond weapon next turn. I think I might as well attack this turn though. Kind of close. Especially because this is a 3-turn clock, not a 2-turn clock. They drew a frog. It's a pretty good one. Okay, big hit to see if we find Delirium. Not Delirium, but it is enough types for me to diamond or cards to diamond weapon, right? Or is it 1 short? Dang, 1 short. So let's play a Phoenix. Leave both back to block. They've drawn another spell. It's an expressive iteration. Unbelievable. They exiled Nihil Spellbomb. So gross. How many rumbles do I have left? Still 3. Definitely a frustrating game. Guess I double block here. Okay, I draw Rumble, so we are hoping to get Delirium off of this. So sorcery, instant, land. So I can get Delirium if I choose nothing, which is kind of interesting. Which of course allows me to like Flytrap and have some beef. I could also, let's see, so I would only have 2 permanents in the yard. The fact that they didn't kill either Phoenix is kind of interesting too, because like if they had killed one, then I would have Delirium and I would just be able to take a backup Flytrap. So I think I'm going to say no. We'll put 2 counters here. Yeah, that definitely does imply that their 2 cards in hand are good. It wasn't a Fatal Push or a Stern Scolding among them. Any likes of trying Tifa in a hammer build? No, I don't think it makes any sense. Like, yeah, it just makes no sense. So let me attack. Put 1 counter here, 1 counter here. Might have been better to split the counter so either Phoenix can kill Subtlety. That's true. Kind of seems like they might have a second copy of Subtlety. Which I am not losing to. I think I am casting this. Not the best against double Nihil Spellbomb. Love for it to be counterspelled, not Subtlety, I suppose. Like putting a hammer on a Tifa is just, again, it's just so overkill. It doesn't make any sense. 5/5 Murktide Regent. Big draw step for me. Kind of an awkward draw. Kind of hope, although not awkward if they counter this, so definitely going to play one. Nice. Wait, Subtlety pitch. Subtlety? You chose to counterspell instead of Subtlety last turn? Let's go, I guess. I guess they wanted it slightly a 5/5 Murktide that badly. But now I get to go FOMO into FOMO, which is just like an unbelievable gift. This also gives me my oh, no, sorry, I already have an artifact in the diamond weapon. So let's see what they're drawing next turn, and we can sequence appropriately. Just to land. Let's go. I land. Amazing. I think that's the first land in 7 cards. That's great. So I kind of have to put both counters on the Flytrap, and then if they sit with both, then they lose in the backswing, so we should be okay. Diamond weapon is a great magnet for removal, isn't it? Sure, yeah. I mean, dodges a lot of removal, too. Should have called it magnet weapon. Alright, so we draw a card. They're drawing a Scalding Tarn, and should win. Good thing I'm not at 2, so I wouldn't just absent-mindedly cycle that Street Wraith on a Monday morning. That was an awesome game to win after their top decks. Pretty promising. Fun match, too. I really love this Grixis deck existing. Like, it's just good Modern. It's just good matches of Modern. Alright, our Street Wraith will definitely draw us a land. We're on the draw. Yeah, everyone loves a good hard cast Street Wraith. Okay, we're gonna keep this. I think we're putting back the Phoenix. Okay, my opponent wouldn't have a mutagenic growth, would they? I guess I should have cycled first. There's the Phoenix coming back to us. Okay, that's great. We can get a diamond weapon down. That'll be really good. We'll see how good our Rumble is. It's possible we're able to go Flytrap and haste the Flytrap on turn 3. Don't love being on the draw. Haven't messed with Scapeshift Tifa yet. I don't exactly understand the appeal of Scapeshift Tifa. The problem with Tifa in Modern is not that card being good when you untap with it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a single pump spell when you untap with Tifa. It allows you to like kill your opponent with like a lot of protection up even. The problem with Tifa is that when you're building your deck around a 2-mana 1/2, your deck's pretty fragile. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess that's a lot more permanent types than I would have liked. Or, so non-permanent types. No rocks for the 9 months. Thank you. Welcome back. So it's like, I don't exactly understand the idea behind, like, the solution to Tifa being, let's cast a 4-mana sorcery when we've untapped with Tifa. When a 1-mana instant also kills. I don't know. So, you know, if there's a step there I'm missing, tell me about it. So, okay, I can, when I bestow the Phoenix, I can get rid of Violent Urge, Street Wraith, and still maintain 5 types in the yard. They see the VV deck, the top 8, top 4. It's basically a combination of my deck and Sakura's. Well, I had 3 different VV builds. I was it playing Temporal Trespass, because that was the card that was like really the breakout from last week. So we have several things in the reserve. I really want to play more VV Temporal Trespass. I actually cut the curiosity for the 3rd copy. It was just insane every single time, and like way more castable than I expected. But yeah, I'll take a look at the VV deck, the top 8 and top 4. So they Lava Dart me. It's the Imri Tamio deck, not the Curiosity deck. Well, I mean, all of my VV builds have been Imri Tamio, so I don't know. Yeah, but the Trespasses were so good. It was like, they were like unbelievably good. So I'm going to dart my spawn, I'm going to dart me. Save the dart for next turn. Oh, we have no lands. I didn't realize the land was 6 types. I guess we have lethal if they don't kill my spawn, huh? No Temporal Trespass. Yeah, I think that card might just end up being like VV's breakout card. So we got more Temporal Trespass VV to do. I've got mono blue Urza with the Astrologer's Planosphere, and then I've got a very nice updated Cecil deck. And I don't know what to play next. I've rented the Cecil deck, but I might switch to something else. They decide to Lava Dart me. So hopefully I'm not dead. I mean, surely they could have counted to 20 by now. All right, I have to crack this fetch for lethal. It's turn 3. Who was it that wanted to cut the... Oh, wait, hold on. I might not... Oh, this should be fine. This should be fine. Because I believe we counted that I can keep the same number of types by just getting rid of Street Wraith, Violent Urge. Yeah, should be fine. Is VV OP? VV is like a playable modern card. She's not OP. She's like people are. Maybe I'm just wrong that people think VV is super duper strong, but VV is a playable modern card. Okay, so 2 counters doubled up to 6. Put a Phoenix on here. Exile Street Wraith, Violent Urge, keep Kindred, Instant, Sorcery, Creature, Artifact, Land. 8 power, and then we put 2 counters up to 6 and double it up to 12 counters. Vivi's not. Sorry, I keep misgendering Vivi. I don't know why. It's just in my head. I know that Vivi's a he. I apologize to Vivi. Not on purpose. Vivi's good though. I feel like I just known several like Vivians who have gone by VV in real life, or maybe not several, but 1 or 2. Is there any Rydia on the docket today? I don't remember how much Goryo's Rydia. I think we went 2-1 with Goryo's Rydia, and that build looked kind of solid. All right, do not cut Flytrap. All right, so I want to bring in the pick your poisons. And I'm not so sure about like the extra. I think the extra Violent Urge is probably good. I think I want to cut the Wraiths. The Pyroclasms can be good too. Is Diamond Weapon the weak link of the deck? Well, I suppose that's what we're trying to determine. It's pretty early. Last game was kind of weird where if it, like we got double Nihil Spellbomb, so this card predictably bad against getting double Nihil Spellbombed. Does seem like if this resolves against Prowess, it's really strong. But that's what we're determining. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. I'm going 1 Tarfire over Phoenix 4, I think. Yeah, I know 14 damage with the Arena, 16 with 6 types, but it's I was just trying to make sure I didn't like lose my types with the Phoenix. I think it fits. I think this card fits pretty well. I think you can enable it very quickly. It's 2 types for Delirium. It also like is a 1 card bestower for Phoenix, and it's also really good to go like Weapon Phoenix. Honestly, it doesn't quite win the game. Diamond Weapon or Flytrap, or I don't know. None of these single cards by themselves win the game. We're an aggro deck. We did play the Sephiroth Soul Trader deck. We had a lot of really sweet turns. I am working on a build of that deck that is cutting the Sephiroth, or sorry, cutting the Soul Traders for Mayhem Devils and Goblin Bombardments, like cutting that package. Trying to be a little bit more like value sacrifice focused. And then I keep realizing I don't have a Johnny in this deck. So I may end up just playing a Johnny and no other white cards. But I don't know. That might be wrong. Any Asmodidia on the horizon? We played Asmodidia last week in a Goryo shell. You can also play it in just normal, no Gorya's Monument. We also had Monument in our Gorya's shell. Wedding is towards the end of October. I think 3 are just too many. I probably cut 2 for looting. So we have 2 main, 1 side. Urge is also like the main card that lets you kill fast. And so like when you don't play Violent Urge, your Eldrazi matchup, your Titan matchup, your Storm matchup all become way more miserable. That's why I have the 3rd in the side to compensate. Stomping Ground Forest is better. Well, no, sorry. I've got the Nethergoyf. So you go Blood Crypt Forest. Marty with Voice and Sephiroth for Devil. Yeah, maybe. I had it pulled up on my other accounts. So I had Bowmasters in the 2-job slot, but yeah, we could maybe just play Voice and Johnny, Bombardment, Supplier, Unearthed Nightmare, Sephiroth, Devil, Spyro. It's maybe too many 3s. Trying to figure it out. So they get Delirium, we can go maybe pick your poison, Goyf next turn. I would love to have Delirium to Flytrap. But yeah, also on looting, I don't think Faithless Looting is a good card in this deck. It might be. We have played looting in this deck post-ban. We even tried to support it more by playing Corey Steelcutter. And my impression that looting was not very good in this deck because you have very few things to discard for value. It's really just Phoenixes. We had Croxus in the older build. I didn't love Croxus in the shell. When you only have 4 cards that discard for value, I don't think you're a very good Faithless Looting deck. Wonder if there's 4 Planosphere, 4 Steelcutter, Imri, Basim, Deck and Modern. That's kind of like the entire deck. If you play Planosphere, Steelcutter, Imri, Basim, Tamio, Opal, Amber, Bauble, that's like an entire deck list with no interaction and probably not enough speed, but potentially. Play this deck after you created 2 lootings felt right. You needed the sorceries too. Maybe I guess I just kind of flatly do not think Faithless Looting is a good card in this deck, but I of course could be wrong. So I might end up Violent Urging my Goyf if they bolt it. Speaking of experience, you have a bar at your wedding and want to drink. We never have time to get one ourselves. I would set up a groomsman to do it for you since I would have a holy cow day if I buy. I bet. I'm going to try not to drink at the wedding, I think. But a good tip if I decide to. The month I've been waiting for. There's one of my groomsmen. Thank you for the 69 months. Hope to see you soon, Matthew. All right, so no attacks. So we can pick your poison, the Steel Cutter potentially. Double spelling this next turn is going to be kind of tough. Would have been really nice to pick your poison, the Channeler. 3 types. So the poison does give me Delirium. Really feeling the black splash this game, I guess. If I could double pick your poison, that would be just so nice. I think we make you sack the Steel Cutter. My Violent Urge is puts them to 4 life. My opponent's got 2 cards in their hand. Right now this is 5 damage. Let's say they have a Bolt. That puts me down to 2. I think I'm going for it here. Like put them down to 4 and then hope that we can untap and kill them. I think trying to block one of the things is just a bit too cowardly. 1 mana plus 7 damage. Love this set. Hate the prices and the fact that spoiler season starts this week for EOE. I don't know what EOE is. Is that the Spider-Man set? I do think it's bad that they do this. I think it's bad that they have like the first round of spoilers so early after a set. I usually just ignore them. I usually just wait like mostly for full spoiler season. Made top 8 at RC this weekend with Helga Kruger. Nice. Want to say thanks for this. I ended up trying one Nissa as well, which was good a couple times I had it. Yeah, this has kind of like been psyoped, I think, where people always shit talk it, but that card just is always a performer for me as well. The space set. Yeah, some people have mentioned space set, and I kind of keep forgetting that that's a thing that's happening. 4 looting's felt bad, 2 felt good, but I agree it's kind of like a bad Rumble 5 and 6. The thing is, it gets Delirium for 1 mana, it's got to be worth the card. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. And obviously, like the mill value is not nothing. I'll say that for me, like the 2 main deck Violent Urges aren't like something I'm very interested in cutting, because they're just something that make you kill much faster, which is something this deck really wants, so you can race the linear decks better. Yeah. What did you cut for the Nissa? Was it the 4th Helga or the 4th Omnath? Thanks for main board Pick Your Poison. Oh yeah, honestly, you could main deck Pick Your Poison instead too. I've been kind of like loving the main deck Pick Your Poisons. The art they showed from Edge of Attorneys looks sick. It's sad it's sandwiched between two Universe Beyond set with very little time between them. Yeah, I think you just gotta take the good with the bad. Like at the end of the day, Magic is our hobby, or maybe it's it's your hobby, it's my job. But if you don't like Universe Beyond, like just like read a book, and you don't have to. If you don't like Final Fantasy, you don't like Spider-Man, you don't like Marvel, you're not liking the current format, read a book, play Expedition 33, exercise, go kiss somebody. I think just enjoy the aspects of Magic you enjoy, and focus on like other things in your life is just going to be the only thing that'll help. Okay, so we are dead to any mutagenic growth, lava dart, or lightning bolt. It's kind of hard for them to not have one of those between iteration preordain. Yeah, or play Spider-Man on Moto where it isn't Spider-Man. All right, let's go to game 3 on the play. The Goryo gets something for Final Fantasy. Yeah, Rydia. Rydia is like a really good looter in like the Jund, like Asmo Goryo show. We played it last week. We went 2-1. I want to figure out a Green Sun Zenith Rydia deck. Theo with the 27 months. Thank you. Welcome back. A lot of no landers. Okay, I like this hand. Do I get Overgrown Tomb turn 1 to play around Lava Dart? I guess so. Based on what do you decide to play draw lands over fetches like in the Hammer deck? Well, so like one thing is Hammer is just kind of a weird archetype in general. It's kind of like an exception where like you're an Urza Saga deck, you have like a good amount of life gain, and you are a deck that like is kind of prone to flood. Because you're a Mox Opal deck. So like that for me, like that deck is just a perfect candidate to be playing Sunbait Canyon. And I don't think that I don't like the surveillance do hurt you a lot more in that archetype. You don't have room to play a lot of fetch lands if you do choose to play fetch lands. So I guess I would say it's the combination of these things that incentivize me to choose no fetch lands in the Hammer list. Good question for sure. Thoughts on Sephiroth, Fable? I love that you capitalize it in Energy Shells. I think the card is good at Energy Shells. Stop playing Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Boros players. That card is it's like it is the worst card in your deck, and you have a lot of good options to be exploring. I'm interested still to see like is Lightning in a dedicated Boros shell, like is that something you want to be doing? Sephiroth, I do think Sephiroth is quite good in the archetype. I think especially if you play like a bunch of Voice of Victories, that card is just very, very strong in your deck. Is their first time being on the play in this match? I think so. Let them play Fable. So they lose and stop playing the format. Well, I want the Spikelings who play Boros to have the best build. Maybe going too deep. Do we think Rydia possibly helps the Dredge archetype? I think it would have to be kind of a creative Dredge build, but like usually like Dredge gets by largely on its resilience, not on its dependency on your 2-mana creature living. Although I guess you can go like 3-mana Rydia fetch land. Seemed like they were thinking about like Surgicaling something maybe. It's interesting. Okay, so this Bauble is a great draw because this is going to allow me to go away Phoenix and still keep in all the same amount of types. Okay, here is an extra type. Exactly lethal? If they surgical my Phoenix before in response here, I get got. Quick, anybody know what 7 plus 5 is? The Moxidus Fridays decks. Oh. Sorry about that. I think the deck command is right. So I think I get Stomping Ground turn 1 so that Arena can enter untapped and I can try to rumble into a black source for the Goyf. Opponent's on a mold to 6. Alright, get to test the Boros matchup. Although this could be Storm, I guess. Let's you want to Wraith first so you have better info on what you're trying to grab off the Rumble, of course. I mean, that is what I'm looking for, so let's keep it on top. We'll take actual Overgrown Tomb instead, I suppose. We also don't get Delirium off the Rumble, which is actually a big problemo. Shadow Flame. Thank you for the 7 months. Welcome back. All right, Johnny. Big draw step for me. Bad draw. So I'm going to play out the Detective's Phoenix and the Goyf. And I'm thinking about leaving the Phoenix back to block because I really need it to die for Delirium purposes. Seems okay. What about casting Rumble, Surveil Trigger, then in between Surveil and Rumble Decision, Street Wraith? That seems best, yeah. Would have worked out a lot better this game, too. Is Serum Visions playable in modern game with Matoya getting printed? I don't know why you'd play, like, you have Preordain and Consider. I don't exactly know how, like, that card is, like, factoring in at all. So they're probably going to go sack the cat, hit the Channeler. Prison the Goyf. So they can also kill the Phoenix if they sack the other cat. So they can go cat, kill Channeler, flip a Johnny, make a cat, deal 1 damage to the Phoenix. Oh, okay, they're just doing nothing. It's interesting. Okay, so let's go haste in Arena of haste of Flame, or sorry, of FOMO. I want to be able to draw another copy of Channeler potentially, so let's do this. And there's a diamond weapon. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This costs 3. So can't play it this turn. Kind of fun that we get to kill the Ajani if they block the FOMO this turn. Think I'm getting in with everything. Preordain hit Power Creeps Visions. Yeah, of course. You have Preordain, you have Consider as 2 1-mana cantrips that trigger Matoya, and I wasn't even playing Consider last time I played the deck. Alright, so let's see if they can deal 13 to us here. Yeah, Ponder's still banned. I think a Ponder unbanned would be something I'd be in favor of, but probably doesn't matter all that much. A Spiral probably kills me. A Lightning! Cool, I'm super dead to this Lightning. Yeah, so I get hit for 2 from the Bombardment, 6 from the Ajani. Super duper dead. Cool. Fun way to die. I think if I had done that trick where I Rumble, Surveil, and then like I could have bought the Phoenix and then I cycle Wraith, like, which I think is also just the proper sequencing. Maybe that was a winning line. Okay, I do want to cut the Urges in this matchup usually. You should cut the 4th Phoenix. Well, Phoenix is good against them, but drawing 2 can be just so punishing. I want to try out these diamond weapons against them. Having like usually, I think I want to go like 2 Spellbombs over 2 Baubles. Yeah, imagine if that Lightning was a Fable. What changed? Used to talk down on Ponder due to the time it takes to resolve. I think mostly that I think that it would improve gameplay more than I think it would hurt gameplay at this point. Like reflecting a lot about like what Modern has become post MH3, like the MH3 cards. that are good and powerful in the format are really hard to interact with, and they're really, really linear. And so I think I enjoy games where Ponder is involved more than the games that are involved with MH3 cards. I also have certainly enjoyed some of the dynamic from unbanning Mox Opal, unbanning Looting, where you have a bunch of classic iconic cards versus the Modern Horizons cards, and like with them, I think that has been a good identity to move forward with, and I also just kind of don't even think Ponder would be that good. is part of it that I think the how long it takes to resolve is not as big a problem as I used to think it was. Just made a trophy with your Cecil Shadowless, but without Cecils. That's interesting because I kind of think the Cecils are better than the Shadows, but maybe wrong. What did you play instead of them? Painful. Worth it. So get Blood Crypt so I can get basic Forest. Next turn, take a little pain off it. What matchups are we against Spheres? Titan and Storm. Yeah, you could play Oof, you could play Veil. Might just be best to just try to race, like, Titan at least, so impossible to race Storm. So I might get to go, like, Pyroclasm plus FOMO next turn. Can I go Pyroclasm and Diamond Weapon next turn? I have, yeah, this costs 2 mana. That's pretty cool. I need to use the restroom real quick. Well, this guy's out of Pyroclasm range. My Diamond Weapon should be pretty good here, unless they have a Static Prison. That would be so nasty. Do I like the design of Nethergoyf? Yeah, Nethergoyf is one of my preferred MH3 cards. It's the kind of card that's like powerful. Oh, do they have the Static Prison? It's the kind of card that's really powerful, but if you want to be good against it, you can just be really good against it. Dang, brutal Static Prison. So how dead am I? I'm feeling I need to try to rumble for a Phoenix. My Flytrap without haste isn't going to be giving Delirium here. I do not find a Phoenix. I can have one more look with this commercial district, though. Nope. Well, that sucked. Oh, that's weird. I like that it's not a graveyard card either. You would, I mean, so why would you gain the life? Because like you flip Cecil after it deals combat damage. So like why, like if you first strike it flips, but you don't get normal combat damage to get the flip, right? You would, he doesn't exile. Yeah, I don't understand why you would gain the life, because Cecil flips when it deals combat damage. And so if you deal combat damage as Cecil, then it transforms into good Cecil or whatever the backside of the card is called. Violent is double strike. Oh, of course. Well, I guess the comment was first strike, so that's why I was confused. But yeah, with double strike, yes, you'd gain the life. I thought I was missing something. Okay, opponent's on a Mold of 6 so far. Have I seen a real life Flytrap? Yeah, I have seen a real life Flytrap. I think Esther had one or two for a little bit. She might still have some. She keeps a lot of plants. Esther keeps plants and I keep fish. I like a Phoenix on Cecil. It flips faster. Also, Cecil technically triggers on any damage, not necessary combat. Okay. Probably won't come up too often, but I guess that's good to know. Yeah, it's okay, Leonard. I just got confused. I'm not no biggie. Yeah, Cecil could be good in this deck. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe. I'm not sure what we get in there. I don't know. Okay, so like Jeskai Ascendancy. Do they have a Mox Opal in their hand? Why would they play the Amber if they didn't have Mox Opal? Well, my diamond weapon is looking pretty castable next turn. I can cast it and haste it with the Phoenix, potentially. Been toying with a saltwater tank for years. It's so much work. I thought... I have a freshwater tank, so I don't have experience, but I thought saltwater tanks were supposed to be, like, lower maintenance once you get them set up, but they're harder to get set up. Is that your experience, or do I have a misunderstanding? What about the Assassin's Creed Flash equipment? The one that... Wait, dude, we're getting Natty Soul Guide Lanterned here? Okay, I do not want them to respond to my fetch land. I'm casting this. I'm casting this. Premier Protein. Yeah, I've been drinking... I have... I don't know if I like the Quest Protein or the Premier Protein more, but I've been drinking 3 a day now. Like 1 in the morning, 1 at lunch, and 1 at dinner. It's just like... I was trying to get back on the bulk. And I found it so difficult to eat as much as I was eating, so I'm just trying to drink a ton of protein shakes instead. You could have sack spawn to have red to haste it. That's true. That's true. Okay, so they cracked the Bauble on their turn, and this is kind of interesting. I wonder when/if they sack this Lantern. They Galvanic Blast my Goyf, killing it. So this is gonna be my 4th type. I want to just cast the FOMO. Oh, sorry. I guess I didn't play around stupid Rebuke very well, huh? How does bulking vegetarian work if you're still trying to eating healthier? Where do you get most of the calories? Yeah, that's the tough part, is that on my first bulk I wasn't vegetarian and now I am, but you can just eat like a lot of fucking French fries and ice cream and like milkshakes and stuff to get the calories in. Yeah, you can do like a pretty easy dirty bulk, but as far as a healthy bulk goes, I don't know. I have not been able to figure it out. Maybe somebody in chat has advice. So yeah, I haven't been bulking. I've just been eating a lot of protein, and it's been fun. Yeah, the X on my graveyard, but I actually don't have Delirium right now. Avocado beans, okay. I do eat a lot of beans. I don't eat as much avocado as I could. I eat a lot of eggs. Okay, that's a good pickup. Ooh, almond butter sounds great. Yeah, I was on a yogurt binge for a little bit, and I kind of stopped eating yogurt. I guess it's because of all these protein shakes. All right, well, let's certainly hope that this gives me a creature or an artifact or an enchantment. All right, that was on my list. Tarfire. Has the vegetarian change been difficult? No, it's been really... It hasn't been that tough, and I feel I have just so much more energy. And I mostly switched because my doctor recommended it for my digestion, and it has really been a big game changer for me. Okay, so they showed us Narset. So they may be... If they're just Kai Ascendancy combo, I wonder if I'm bringing in these Damping Spheres. Maybe some amount of them. We're racing, so I think the 4th Urge is fine. I'm going to trim a Tarfire. They're probably playing Urza Saga. They're probably playing Steel Cutter, so I don't think I mind these so much. Maybe play like 2 Tarfire, 3 Phoenix, Something like this. Maybe we could play the first Haywire Mite. It's a bit better against Just Guy Ascendancy and its extra type. You can find it off Rumble, etc. Let's try this. There's vegetarian eggs. Yeah, eggs are not fertilized. You're not eating a baby chicken. All eggs are vegetarian, but they're not vegan. Acolyte the 60 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. All right, on the draw here. Gonna take a mulligan. Up a game. Oh, forgot to update the record. 5 years I missed the dog couch in the background. Me too. I tried to recreate the dog couch, but Athena has moved on, unfortunately. I think we have to keep this on 6. Let me put back the Flytrap because I really like having a Phoenix to discard to FOMO. When I thought about Pescatarian, I thought a little bit about it. I think I might try it when I go to Japan this year. The thing is, also, I have fish. Fish they just have little personalities. It's just, they don't want you to know it, but they do have little personalities. Some of them are sweet, some of them are friendly, some of them are assholes. My favorite is my platinum parrot. He's just a little bastard. He's so goofy though. When are you gonna be in Japan visiting for 3 weeks in November? I'll be there in November. Like the last week of October and like the first week of November. Okay. Violent Urge, just like my platinum parrot. Okay, that's great for me. Let's surveil off the district first. Don't want that. Another type for Delirium, and this is another type. Or sorry, for Fly. Oh, sorry, I already had enchantment creature. Never mind. This I will have 6 types if I do end up fly trapping. My opponent repeals my channeler in response. FOMO plus Phoenix plus Violent are just exactly 20 damage, by the way, if you have Delirium. But you need 4 mana to do it all in one go. We're also not doing great as far as like quantity of things to bestow for our Phoenix. Yeah, I was just thinking that this would be the best draw to maybe get a good Phoenix turn this turn. Rumble is also pretty interesting to try to set up for that big combo turn next turn. I could go Channeler, Phoenix, attack for 5 this turn. Lethal in the air next turn, not losing to a lot, getting the Channeler out of Galvanic Blast range I think is going to be, that's going to be the tiebreaker for me here. Be from November 13th, the first week of December, trying to hit Kyoto, Osaka, Tokyo. What to do? I don't know, but this one Hokkaido. That'd be cool. I think we're leaving on like the 11th through the 12th. But if I see you up there, I see you up there. So Tomio is not ideal, since it chump blocks the Channeler. 3 cards in their hand still. Okay, well, it seems like I want to just attack first. So we'll see if they have the Rebuke, or if we just get an easy peasy dub. Alright, it resolved. This is 12 damage. Oh, they have Repeal? Dang. Do I think Savor the Moment and VV would work well together? Maybe. Savor the Moment's not a great card, but it's kind of an interesting thought. Mostly think that Temporal Trespass is just where you want to be. That card has been so good with VV. I thought about playing the challenge with it today. Decided to. We have too many brews to work on to do that, but hopefully we can get one more league within it this week and see if we want to play that on Friday. I like Saver with Tomio too. Yeah. There's something to all this. Alright, so a dead Channeler. They've got 3 cards in their hand. Do I block? I think I don't hate blocking. Let's not. So if I get a... So we go FOMO, discard Flytrap. I can Phoenix, exile Flytrap. Flytrap, Goyf, Channeler, Urge. And I can get in for 12 in the air. So 8 in the air. Which I think is just the move. Oh, I have to shock? Well, I guess we shock. I could exile FOMO Channeler instead, and I still have 4 types. And if the Phoenix dies, then I have 1 extra type, which might be good for like a top deck Flytrap with the Tarfire and the Arena. I could also potentially just attack for 4 and then leave this back to block. The problem with that is I just don't know that I'm going to be able to convert lethal next turn. I might be just too dead if I do this, though. So if they play 2 spells, I block 1 thing, and I take 3, 4, 5. 3 plus... I'm going to have to leave this back, I think. Just too likely that they have the ability to double spell. Fun game. Why didn't you discard the Phoenix to FOMO if bestowing it? What did I miss? Well, I needed more cards to collect evidence for. I needed the Flytrap at the yard to collect some evidence. Okay, so there's 1 spell. The Galvanic Blast? I'm dead if they just blast me, right? They also could maybe make a construct and haste it. Feeling like we're going to see a game 3. So far, Flytrap has basically just been evidence or discard fodder. That's not true. We have killed people with hasty Flytraps this league. That is not true. We killed someone on turn 3 with a hasty 14 power Flytrap. Okay. So I must block like this. So this puts me to 1 with some outs. We will not abide by any Flytrap slander. I think we win. I guess they could have Rebuke. That would suck. But it says GG. GG to you too. Alright, so 3 and 2. Not too bad. Lost to Titan. Lost to Boros. That Boros draw we lost to is so sad. In game 2. Beat Prowess. Beat Jeskai Ascendancy deck. And I don't remember what the other matchup was. Let's do one more. I feel like Diamond Weapon was quite good a couple of times. I want to get a little bit more of a sample size with this one. It's also just a fun deck to be playing.